Hello there, people of the internet. So, over the weekend, Luxury Gaming did their second LCS Luxury Championship Series in the place of the YCS Hartford, Connecticut. There were 240 players registered in that tournament, with top 5 represented decks being Emancipator at 25%, Eldritch or some variant of it was at roughly 23%, Salamangreat at 9%, Invoked variants also being at about 9%, and Rocket Link at 4%. The top 32 spots saw a familiar trend with Emancipators at about 56% with 18 players, and Eldritch variants about 25% with 8 players. It's at this point we're diversified a lot more, with every other spot being taken up by a different deck, ranging from DDD, Invoked Shaddoll, Salamangreat, Rocket, Subterror, and Zodiac. What finally won it was an Invoked Eldritch deck piloted by Cameron Nell, with the second place going to an Emancipator by Tristan Pug. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. The other two decks in the top 4 was another Emancipator deck by Mastuz Golden. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly either. So there was a slight discrepancy while filming this video. It was Robert Jordan who also made it into the top 4, who also played an Emancipator deck. Here's what immediately comes to my attention. The two decks that had the most representation in the top spots, being Eldritch and Emancipators. Both of these decks just came out a little bit over 2 weeks ago, and they are already competing for the top representation. Out of the 240 players, both of these decks had about the same representation in percentage. Right now, they're kind of reminding me of how Spellbooks and Dragon Rulers competed for the top spots when they came out in Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy back in May of 2013. Both of these decks seem to have the potential to become Tier 0, since they have all the power that a Tier 0 deck should have. But they're both competing for that Tier 0 status at the same time. Something interesting about one of those decks, Eldritch. They had a lot of representation at 23%, but not everyone was playing a pure variant. And in fact, a lot of people were playing the Invoked variant. And the Invoked variant had a slightly higher percentage in representation at 12%. And here's where things get even more interesting about this deck. Out of the 8 players that topped with Eldritch, 5 of them were playing Invoked Eldritch. The other 3 were playing a different variant each, going from Pure to Eldritch Lightsworn to Invoked Eldritch Lightsworn. Now, Zombies and Lightsworns have always had very good synergy, so it's not a surprise to me that someone thought to put Eldritch into that mix. What does surprise me, however, is someone decided to throw Invoked into that mix as well. And that's an interesting combination on that front. What this means to me is that Eldritch is either good as an engine or just pure. I'm not terribly surprised by most of these top spots, but the one that did catch me off guard was DDD. DDD has all the power that it needs to be in the runnings for the top spots, but not a lot of people know how to play it correctly, and that's why we don't see that many top spots when it comes to DDD. It just shows that knowing your deck well can get you to the top. Thank you all so much for watching. Special thanks to my friend Cody for helping me put together this video. If y'all like what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button down below, and hit that bell icon to get notified of all my doings here on this channel. Stalk me on social media. My name is Brent. I am Maxed Out Weird. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.